recording? All right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready. So you see my sandwich right now, Shane?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
It looks. I hope it's to your liking, but at any rate,
Right.
yeah. I'm excited about this, and it's you definitely have a good established rapport with a lot of us, and I think it's going to be awesome once folks come in and they see you for real. It should be really fun.
I love my Twitch family. So.
I do too. It's really nice that you were among the first to welcome me to Twitch when I joined. Back, it feels like a lot longer ago, but it was actually in March.
I was going to say, I couldn't remember how. I knew it was in the spring sometime, but I couldn't remember when.
Yeah. How long have you been on Twitch? That's the big question. Like I'm just.
So I came onto Twitch the same day that Laura came onto Twitch.
Wow, no kidding.
So I came with Laura. It's all her fault.
Hey, look who subscribed. This is a person named Shane M.O.T.B. That's great.
My 4 months.
Thank you so much. Tuba's in the chat too. Hi, Tuba. Love you, Shane. I love it too, Tuba. We love you too, Tuba. We love you too. That's wonderful. Christy, welcome in. Christy's Coffee. Her channel's starting to blow up. Like people are really starting to gravitate to her too. It's really exciting.
I know. I wasn't able to get on yesterday when she was on, but I am following. That is for sure. So
that's really cool. All right, so those of you who are on the stream kind of hear that boop boop sound. I forgot that you have to turn that off.
How do I was like sitting here trying to figure out how to turn my notifications off.
It's in the settings, but we won't have time to get into that now. So
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it should be okay. But thank you very much, everybody who's in the chat already, and thank you again for 4 months. I didn't know that. Wow, yeah. I'm so honored. 4 months. That's great. That's really great. Let's give you guys so much fun. Sandwiches for everybody tonight. Super cool. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Honestly, I don't feel like there's anything left. We were all set to go. So why don't we just start this up already? And I'm going to turn something down. Feel free to spam the sandwiches in the chat. By the way, if you guys are looking for commands, here they are. These are the popular commands in our... Ooh. No, there they are. There we go. Yeah, that one. So yeah, the popular commands. There you go. You can check that out, chat, if you're in the chat. And we're going to start. Let's do it. All right. There we go. Wait till you all see Shane's background. Like it's so erudite. It's incredibly kind of intimidating in a way because it's kind of making me think that, oh man, I should read more books. But
yeah. Well, okay, so this background is books, but if I turned just a little bit further, you would see the floor to ceiling games. Board games.
All right. Did you say board games?
Uh-huh. So
I love that.
Just a little bit so you can see.
Okay, hold on. Let's bring everyone in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sandwich Show. We're so excited to have our friend Shane M.O.T.B. on. Let's introduce her now to the program. Shane, welcome to our show. How's it going tonight?
It's great. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. I mean, goodness, this is fantastic. So for those of you who are not familiar, Shane is an excellent mod on a number of great channels throughout Twitch Music, and the most notable ones I think we know of are Luis. Welcome to the chat. Welcome in. It's good to see you, Luis. Happy 1 year. Luis had the 1 year anniversary on Sunday, and I do want to commemorate that. Congrats, Luis. That's pretty awesome. You're an awesome dude, so we're really happy for you. So good to see you. But yeah, so Shane mods several channels. The most notable ones are Justin and Evelyn, who I think you're going to be there tonight. They're going tonight. I think they are.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then you've got Laura Wiley Piano, who that's a big one. That's a big one. So I'm sure, and she has similar interests to you, which I think is really cool. And then the other one is Call Sign Flip, who I haven't seen as much lately, but I know he's awesome, and he's just a great singer and a great heart. So that's who we're talking to tonight. You see her all over Twitch, though. I mean, I was just asking you to start before we went official. Like, what brought you to Twitch? And it sounds like you were kind of leaning into that. what was your story of how you found the Twitch and the music community there?
So I went to visit Los Angeles before the pandemic, before everything, and ended up at Tramp Stamp Granny's, which is the piano bar where Laura is the manager of the music and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And met her, thought she was amazing, went home, followed her on Facebook, and that was it. And then the pandemic started, and she put on her Facebook that she was going to do a thing on Facebook called Quarantine Keys. And so I logged on to Quarantine Keys the very first time that she did it, and she was sitting in her living room playing music, and I followed her there. And then one day she said, I'm just going to try this whole Twitch thing. And so I came with her the very first day that she came to Twitch. Had no intentions of ever modding any channels.
Oh, wow.
But would kind of like end up basically modding as a non-mod, just helping people out, and figured out I really loved it. And she was the first channel, and then Call Sign Flip, and then Justin and Evelyn. So.
Oh, okay, so you got the order down. That's really great. I was going to ask about that. Like, so you found Laura first. But what's amazing is you found her before the pandemic. That's unique. I don't think a lot of us would have known her, which is ironic because, like, I live here, and I would never have known about her if it wasn't for Twitch.
Right.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But that's great.
We got the night that we were at Tramp Stamp Granny's was amazing. And I mean, literally, I stood in eyesight and just was in awe the entire time. I was like, oh my gosh. And my husband was standing behind me, and I'd turn and go, this is amazing. And he'd nod his head, and I'd be like, okay, what's going to happen next? And it was 2.5, almost 3 hours of us standing there thinking it was completely amazing. So that's how I found her. So
what an introduction, though, that bar. I mean, I finally got to see it for myself the other day. Believe the hype. My goodness, what a spot. And I do want to bring Tuba there as well. I see you in the chat, Tuba. Let's make it happen. We'll go back there for sure. And Erin, welcome in. Mama Shane, hi, she says. So good to see you, Erin. Were you like a mentor to the other mods too? Because it sounded like you're one of the first ones at Laura's channel. Like, so were other mods there? Did you come at the same time as certain ones, and did the others come after?
So whenever she first started, Mike Mayer was her friend in real life.
Right.
And he was her first mod, and he also had Twitch experience. And I think that's how she kind of got hooked up into Twitch to begin with. Mm-hmm. And then it was Mike, and then it was Tin Tam was in there. And I think it was just, there was like one day basically where nobody was available. And so at that point she was like, hey, I'm just going to make you a mod. I was like, great, that's fine. But then several people have come on since. But I was kind of in that first not original round, I guess is the best way to say it.
Okay. So you're like the second generation, so to speak. That's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I love that. We have so many of our friends in chat, and Christine is one of them. Christine, it's so good to see you. I'm pumping it up for you too, Christine. It's good to see you. And again, we know Christine specifically from Laura's channel, and the Creative Star is here too. She's part of Christy's. I've seen her on Christy's Coffee's chat. Fitness Gal 2012 is in as well. Hi, Fitness Gal. And Luis, the LG Music. Wow, it's so good to see you. So Erin,
I have a funny story also about Christine. So Christine and I are friends in real cyber life. Because during the quarantine, I got hooked up with a group of people who had similar interests. And so she and I are on a group that for a very long time met every single week. And now we meet like every other week on Saturdays just to sit and chat and talk about Broadway and Glee and fan fiction and lots of other things like that. So I love Christine.
We all love Christine. That's really cool. I mean, you all are the nicest people. You know what I think is so amazing about Laura's channel in particular is that it just seems like some of the nicest people ever are on that same channel, which is really funny. Like, it's like her, you both, Tuba, obviously Tin Tam and Erin, I see them there. Colorbug, Kalans, who's just one of the most generous people I know on Twitch. Rahoma, of course. You know Rahoma. And by the way, hi, Rahoma. It's good to see you again, Rahoma.
Oh,
Good to see you.
well, it's interesting too. I mean, whenever she came over, I mean, that was one of the conversations she and I had. Was that she wanted this to be a family. Like she missed her family, and she knew everybody was missing their family, and she wanted it to be a family, and that's the culture that she created, and she wanted us to be that way, and she did a bang up job of it.
She really did. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Laura herself, who was just one of the nicest people, period, anywhere. So, I mean, you've seen it firsthand. I have too. And most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with her work on their channel. Have a good lurk, Louise. It's so good to see you for a little bit. Enjoy your dinner. I hope you enjoy our conversation while you're eating. And Aaron says, I usually lurk on Laura because she streams late for me, which is actually an interesting point. I do find that I know that she's admitted that that there are challenges involved with streaming on West Coast time, and I can imagine for you would be no different because you're still in Central time, which means that the stream starts at what, 10 where you are? Wow.
Yeah, usually ends at 1.
Wow.
And then I get up and go to work at 6:30.
Ooh.
So it is total dedication for Laura.
No doubt.
And Justin and Evelyn start a little earlier, and that does help. That makes it a little easier. And then for Flip just kind of like slides into a stream and then is back out. I never know when he's going to pop up. So.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, I'm actually I've been in a similar course. I wasn't really sure when he was streaming. I mean, he's been busy. I understand that, so I'm not. There's no shame in that. But I see what you mean because I've seen it too. And Aaron says, and that's why Shane is the best. Yes.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah, but you have a real heart of gold for that, and but you know. That time stuff does work for me specifically because I'm like, well, I got stuff going sometimes and then I come in, but it is also why I do this show on East Coast time. Like I'm always doing it that way just to make sure that more people can tune in. So that's and because I can, like I mean, I'm fortunate enough where I work from home enough where I can make that happen. So, but anyway, I'm glad that you can do that. And then I imagine those Saturday streams when you were doing those must be nice because those are like in the middle of the day. Those are cool. Yeah. It's really fun.
Definitely easier.
Yeah, for sure. So what is it like learning some of these things about Twitch, for example? Like gift subs and hype trains and raids. I mean, how did all that come together for you?
I learned on the fly and made lots of mistakes. The very first time I banned somebody that was like really important in the channel was loads of fun. Laura literally dead stopped in the middle of the song and went, I think you made a mistake. I'm like, what did I do? She's like, you can't ban him. I'm like, oh. And I haven't lived it down, I don't think. I banned pencils is who I accidentally banned. Love pencils. And it was a total, like, just clicked on the wrong thing. A lot of it's just trial and error. I definitely made some mistakes. The thing that still gets me is commands sometimes, like how to make a command.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see it sometimes in chat. It'll be like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, yeah, finally. It looks close enough. If I get stuck on something, I am pretty good about going to the Twitch help and Googling and trying to watch a YouTube video. But I just learned it on the fly and fully admit that I'm not very good at it and I just make lots of mistakes.
It happens. I mean, making command, I didn't even know about that until yesterday. I'm supposed to be a mod for Christy's channel. It's a terrible job out of me. Rohomo had to bail me out of that one. So Rohomo, thank you for that. And Aaron says, I've accidentally banned timed out people before and I felt so bad. Yeah, I feel that. Although Tuba says, you should have left pencils banned, which I think that's bad. I think it's kind of valid. No. Aaron, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Aaron, I appreciate your comment, which I thank you for, Davey, as far as doing East Coast time. You're streaming by Eastern time, helps me mod both this channel and Jeff, and I'm happy to do that, absolutely, because I know that. Like, I'm familiar. I have a lot of East Coast friends, so I'm familiar with like how the time zones work and everything. So I definitely want to make the show as easy to watch as possible in real time. So anyway,
it definitely does help, and it's always interesting with Laura, with these West Coast people, because I think a lot of time they get raids at the very beginning of their streams because it's 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock and people are ending on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And in Central Time. And so I think that's, well, a lot of times we'll see those like really at the very beginning, those big raids. And then it gets really, really quiet because there's nobody left on the East Coast that's still awake.
Ooh, right, right.
Crazy people like us. So.
Yeah, good point. Like, I know occasionally I've had to stream, mostly gaming streams. Like they end up going to like midnight or even past midnight on the West Coast. That's a challenge. I'm like, damn, who am I going to raid now? It's like, there's barely anybody I know. It took a bit.
That's when you're looking for Europe. It's got to be somebody in Europe.
Exactly. You're hoping for an Australian stream to be on. Is Aaron Shea on right now? Like, maybe something like that. But, it did work out the last time I tried that. Went to Kuya Sai. That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know him, right? Like, you've seen him on the channel, right?
Yeah. I love Kuya.
Yeah. Kuya's cool. Kuya's cool people. But what have been some of your favorite moments in modding so far? Like, have there been like a channel moment? We've talked a lot about Laura, but I know you've had unbelievable moments on Justin and Evelyn too. Like gosh, all those charity streams and everything.
One of the things I'll
Speaking
never
of which,
forget.
hey, welcome.
Hello,
So
Justin
good.
and Evelyn.
Oh, we're so glad to have you here, Justin and Evelyn. We're so glad to see you. How you doing tonight? Oh my goodness, it's Shane and Davey. I love it too. That's really great.
For Justin and Evelyn, like, I don't know that I will ever forget the day that we were all just kind of sitting there and all of a sudden the screen that used to be behind them that screened off the stairs literally just started moving. And the cats had like gotten onto it and it went tumbling down the stairs with cat and everything. And that was just one of those, I'm like, oh, that is not the way that you want the stream to go. So that was a fun moment and something I don't think I'll ever forget. But I think it's the same with Justin and Evelyn. I mean, when they were first starting to stream, I mean, I whispered to them and I'm like, I would love to mod and to help just because I think you're amazing and I want to be a part of your family. And they are amazing and I consider them a part of my family, and that's why I love modding for them as well. I mean, they're just amazing humans. They're amazing musicians. But that's what makes it so fun for me.
It's fun for all of us, and it's because of people like you that it stays a fun place. And because there's definitely a lot of shenanigans out there on Twitch, and it's key to have people who have our back in that area. And so I love it. Oh, by the way, Justin Evelyn says this is so delightful, and then recapping the cat story, cat chaos, tails chaos. Justin Evelyn says one of my favorite moments.
That is when the cat chaos command came into being. Was because of the screen going tumbling down the stairs. That's when we created the cat chaos command.
Oh, it's so good.
Poor Tails
Indeed. Aaron says Tails is the reason I can't listen to Mad World without laughing. And Jeff says one of my favorite moments. I'm sure it's all of our favorite moments for sure. Super cool. And yeah. So tell us a little bit about these commands. I think Justin and Evelyn seem to have the most entertaining commands. So
they have the best.
Walk us through some of them.
So I love the cat chaos. I also love their welcome command is one of my favorites. And it's funny because I'll be modding in other channels or I'll be in another channel. And I'll try to do the welcome command and then realize, oh yeah, the phrase and the welcome that I like, it's not going to come up because I'm in the wrong channel. But I love that welcome command, and the everything is broken command is also those poor people. Their stream at the beginning when they were baby Twitchlings was quite the craziness. So, they had so many tech issues, so the everything is broken is a lot of fun for me too. And then it was interesting, several of the ones that I really love started happening this summer. In the summer I was crazy busy with shows, and so I was a lot of times only able to catch just little bits and pieces of the shows. And some of my favorite, the Swoon and the Caramel, those, I really love those, but I came into those kind of like everybody else. I was like, oh, that's really good. But didn't have a hand in creating those. So.
Oh, I gotcha. They are fun though, no doubt. Caramel is pretty on point whenever Justin's singing, so I'm down with that. Yeah, that's really great. I love these stories so far. And Aaron, I'm sorry about your internet. Dang, that's the worst. So, I was just talking to her yesterday, like when we were chatting on Christy's show, like bad internet is the worst. It's just hard to do anything when it's bad. But yeah. Now you're talking about technical issues on the Justin and Evelyn side. Do you ever encounter any technical issues when you're modding various channels?
I had a stretch in there. Well, when we had the ice storm, and we never knew if we were going to have power from time to time, that was loads of fun. Typically for me, like stuff will just kind of go wonky for a little bit and then come right back. Mm-hmm. Honestly, if my internet goes really wonky, it tends to be because the cat is laying on the Wi-Fi router. So I'll kind of like walk over and pull all the antennas back up on the Wi-Fi router, and then it usually comes back again.
Oh, that's so good.
And then I had a whole stretch in there too where my computer had decided that it was too old to work, and I was trying to mod off of a phone and off of an iPad and kind of whatever device would work at that moment. But for the most part, I actually get pretty lucky. And stuff seems to work for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Irene, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you again, Irene. We haven't announced, by the way, Irene is the co-founder of the Together Wherever, and we're going to have a new lineup for you all on this channel in 10 days. So join us then, Friday the 15th. Irene and I will announce the latest Together Wherever. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It definitely is amazing. We bring a lot of great musicians together. And I know you know that well because Justin and Evelyn have been part of that. So it's really interesting because like it's so many streamers. Like you definitely learn new channels by way of this procedure. I mean, do you remember like meeting new folks through one of these stream fests, whether it's this one or Danny Stream Fest or other stream fests, or Hadley's Heroes or other charity stream fests, things like that?
I do. A lot of times I'll follow people and then I'll get like a notification or something that somebody's on, and I'll be like, who is that? I'm not quite sure I remember. And it's always fun to go back because usually it's something from a festival or something like that. Where I don't think to see them very often, or they stream at a time that I'm just not available. Mm-hmm. But then I'll get to catch, a good 20-30 minutes of their stream. And I always love getting to see new stuff. And also from the festivals, a lot of those times, like I'll keep that as a VOD that I know where it is. And whenever I'm sitting at school after school and it's kind of quiet, I'll pull things like that up to watch and to listen to just to keep me company. So I love things like that where you get so many different people in to kind of share what they do.
That's really cool. And as you were saying, and it's true what Irene just said right now in chat. Mods make the festival successful. And Aaron has something for you. Check out this emote for you. Mod Sword emote. That's so cool.
Oh.
That's awesome, Aaron. Yeah, you deserve it. That's really cool. So let's do this. We got to present some sandwiches to these folks. Are you feeling hungry enough for it? You ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it, everyone. It's time for everyone's moment that really it founds about the foundation of this program, and it is the time for the sandwich of the week, everybody. And we're back. And let's go back to Shane and let's see what you have to say about your sandwich of the week. What's your sandwich this week for us here on the show?
So I told you that my sandwich was really boring. And it is. I mean, peanut butter and jelly is kind of one of those, classic things. The thing is that about 3 years ago, I kept getting really sick. And we discovered that I was allergic to nuts. Now, a kid never eating peanut butter growing up, they don't care. An adult who ate it all the time, it's really hard to not have peanut butter in your life. And all those like sun nut butter and things like that are awful. They're terrible. Especially if you know what real peanut butter is like. And so I was working on a show 2 years ago in the summer, and somebody brought stuff to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I was like, oh, stay far away from there. And one of the moms said, no, my son's allergic to peanut butter, but I have like a great peanut butter substitute. And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll try it. It's really, really, really good, and it's very, very close. Now, it's not Jif, but it's almost identical to like a natural peanut butter.
Okay.
And so I get to have peanut butter and jelly again, but it's called, actually have it with me. So it's called Wow Butter.
All right. Yeah, I see it.
And it's made with roasted soybeans, so it has the same flavor as peanut butter, and pretty much the same texture, like instead of like a natural peanut butter. So I have so should I hold my sandwich up? How should I do
Yes, go for it. Bring it up to the camera for us. There's
my peanut butter and jelly.
That's not boring. Look at that. It looks amazing.
So it's peanut butter and lingonberry jam.
Love it.
Which is one of my favorites. So... but the opportunity to get to eat peanut butter again, has been huge, and I really love it. And it's funny because so many schools can't have peanut butter, but on the inside because it smells just like peanut butter, like you cannot tell the difference. That on the inside of the label, let me see if I can get it open. I don't know that I can. But on the inside of the label, it actually has stickers. So if you send this with your child to school lunch, it has a sticker that says that it's nut-free so that the kid can eat it at school, which I think is pretty cool.
That is really cool. Yeah.
That's my thing. I am a peanut butter and jelly lover, so this is my alternative.
No wonder you and Laura are friends, though. She loves peanut butter and jelly. I mean, she adores.
She does.
Yeah. That's really cool. So let me show you mine really briefly. So yeah, that is not a boring sandwich. I'm gonna tell you that was very cool. Let me be honest. Irene, have a great lurk. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And leave it on. We'll hopefully have some good conversation for you as you enjoy your food. Justin Nevlin say delicious. Fitness Gal says that looks great. Hi, Fitness Gal. Welcome in. Did I ever tell you the story? Fitness Gal introduced me to Twitch. I wouldn't be here without her.
I did not realize that.
How about that? Yeah, it's because like she brought me to Justin Nevlin's channel, and the rest, as they say, is history. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah. So with that in mind, let's go over to my sandwich of the week, and it is this. And I needed to do something a little lighter this week, so we got the lightest sandwich imaginable: a tiny salami sandwich with mustard. I mean, we're talking minuscule.
That is awesome.
Thank you. And I'm doing this in honor of the Anna Carmela Tiny Cooking stream that they had on Sunday, which I thought was really cool. But so I'm like, I'll do one too. Like, these are nice little tiny little sandwiches. You got mustard on the top, salami, and white cheddar, and on this baby bread. So why don't we have some sandwiches? Let's enjoy. I'm gonna try mine, and you can try yours.
Good. All right.
Yeah, see the baby sandwich. Sandwich.
My little jelly.
Nice. All right, so let's eat. I just went the whole thing in my mouth already. I was like, I take a bite. The bite almost encompassed the entire sandwich.
I agree with Christy. It looks like Lunchables.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. The only difference is that the bread is closer to like bread than like crackers. It's not strictly crackers. Okay. It's like like the tiny bread, but it's pretty much Lunchables. Yeah.
Very nice. I love it.
Now you have potato chips with your sandwich. I think that's really interesting.
I do. Since I was very young, I love like plain, but nothing on this, plain potato chips and peanut butter and jelly. I've been eating that for a very long time.
I love that. And Rahoma says, "What are these sandwiches for ants?" I'm going to show you that to you again.
Hey, mine's big. Mine's a regular size.
What she's talking about this one.
Yeah.
Look how close I have to get it up to just so people can see it. Actual size. But
nicely between my fingers.
oh yeah, good times. But no, I'm so grateful to have found this platform. There's just nothing. There's nothing like it. I just can't believe people can be so nice and so generous so consistently everywhere, almost everywhere. I mean, there are exceptions. Like I've run into them, but on the whole, it's been just tremendous. And yeah, there's great things to come too. I mean, they're promoting things. People are going on the front page. You know, it's really a cool time. Though concurrent with that, we're able to move into our regular lives again. Things are slowly starting to get back in order. I know you work. I know you teach. I know you do costume design for productions, which that's like the most interesting thing to me. Like you've got these really cool wardrobe. You make costumes, right? Isn't that basically what you do for? Wow. Yeah. That's impressive.
There's a whole story about how I got into it. I don't know if you care about that or not, but bye. Sorry, my husband's walking out the door. I'm not sure where he's headed, but he's walking out the door. So there you go. I have 22-year-old twins. That's the M.O.T.B in my name is mother of twin boys. And whenever they were in 6th grade, started school, and they were both in the very first theater production. And I remember my son coming home and saying, you know, my pants don't fit me. And, you know, we open in a couple of days. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm sure they'll get to it. And then like the day before they open, he's like, Mom, my pants don't fit me. And I was like, well, okay, you can bring them home and I'll help you. And so apparently he walked in. Thankfully, I'm friends with her. Walked in and was like, my mom can sew. I'm taking my stuff home to her. And the rest, they say, is history, because at that point she called and said, hey, do you mind coming and dealing with all the rest of the problems that need to happen before we open tomorrow night? And I started with that. And then as they got a little bit older, started going from just assisting and working on like alterations and things to actually designing full shows. And then once they got into high school, their sophomore year of high school is whenever I completely took over all of the theater for the school where we are, and I do all of the plays, all of the musicals, and I also do our dance as well, our dance program. Mm-hmm. And then how I got into the summer stock Austin, which is a professional company. I got into it in much the same way. My son Sam had gotten cast, and it's a crazy program. They start in July, and they have they go 10 to 10, 7 days a week, and they have 3 weeks to get their first musical up, and then another week to get their second musical up, and then another week to get their third musical up, and then they run through August. So they run 3 musicals at the same time.
Ooh.
Like 5 to 6 days a week. It is an amazing program, but he went to his very first day of rehearsal and they did fittings, and he looked at the costume designer and said, hey, I'm just gonna get my mom to bring her sewing machine because you need a lot of help. So I picked him up and he's like, oh, you're gonna come tomorrow, just bring your sewing machine. It was like, my son said you need some help, and I became absolute best friends with the costume designer for Summer Stock Austin. Her name is Mama T, so she goes by Mama T and I go by Mama Shane. And I've been at that ever since as well. And that's how I got to do a movie this summer. My very first movie production, which was unbelievable, and then also did another musical at the same time this summer. So
wow, look at all these creative productions. You have a movie now. Can we see this movie? Is it in theaters now? Is it on Netflix?
It's not. So it's an indie production, and it's currently at festivals, and we just won a festival. Yeah. Anyway, but as soon as it's done with festival season, then it will get released, and it's currently set to release on Amazon and on Netflix sometime in the fall.
Wow, look at that.
Fall. So it's a little or next summer / fall.
Okay. Are you at liberty to tell us the name of the film?
Yes, it is called Scout. And so Scout is, my cat is being silly. So it is about a 13-year-old girl. It's one day in the life of a 13-year-old girl as she makes a huge transition in her life. And it was shot almost all outdoors in the Texas heat in June. But it's a day in the life, and it was the neighborhood of the person who was producing it, and all the neighbors were involved, and the little kids in the neighborhood were involved, and it was an unbelievable experience. But it's when I figured out that with musicals, if something breaks, if something rips, I'm like, no big deal. I'll just make something else or make something else work and put it in the next show. You can't do that with a movie, because we shot the final scene the very first day. So nothing could change from that point on. So the continuity piece of it is definitely interesting in a movie. So
Yeah,
different world.
No, that's true. It's a different challenge, isn't it? Jade, welcome to the chat. It's so good to see you pop in here. Jade, you're also one of the rising stars of Twitch too, I should mention.
Yes.
Have you been to her channel? It's very good. Her art is.
So I happened to be able to be on the night that it was her first affiliate stream.
Oh, nice. That's great. Oh man, you might have been part of the raid too, right? When Jeff raided over like 80 people to Jade's channel. So good. Oh, I love that. Jade, we love you. That's great. And some other comments. Let's go back. Justin and Loveland going all the way back. We care as far as Twitch community. Pinball Sorcerer. And here I always thought M.O.T.B meant mother of the bride.
In most cases, yes, but not in mine.
Justin and Evelyn. Oh, what's her name? Or his name?
This is Mooney, because Mooney has a moon on his nose.
Oh, look at that.
So
Hello. Hello, Mooney.
He wants my sandwich. So this is the crux of the problem.
Look at that. Sandwiches bringing people and cats together here on this channel. So great. But anyway, everybody loved your story, and I think that's really awesome. The story of you becoming a costume expert for your school is really cool.
And it was really wild this summer to sit. We got to sit in Bass Concert Hall, which is the UT concert hall, University of Texas concert hall here in Austin. Mm-hmm. And it's really wild to be sitting in the audience and the credits roll and your name rolls across the screen. It's one of those, it's one thing to be in the program of a musical. It's a whole other thing to see your name giant on a screen for a movie. And so I would definitely do it again. It was a lot of fun.
That is really cool. Like that, my skin would be tingling if that happened. It was just one of those like moments. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so that would be the cat jumping on the top of my
the cat.
Stop now.
I was like, you just blacked out for a second. Like, whoa. Technical.
No, that would be the cat.
Cat difficulties.
When I was teaching from this computer during the pandemic, that was his favorite thing to do.
Oh.
Would be to like, he didn't like my attention being on the screen, and so he would kind of take over. So. Wow,
look at that. That's so great. Pinball, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you. That was a fun line, and it is great to see you here joining us once again. He's a loyal follower of the Sandwich Show, and as are everybody here actually tonight. My mom's in here, Mima Nina too. Hi, Mom.
Aww,
good to see you.
Mom.
She said, "Congratulations, Shane, on that.
Aww.
Super cool." Yeah, that's really. I share that. Congratulations. That's really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Oh yeah. Do you think you'll do another one in the near future? Like, I know you'd want to.
The people that produced and directed it have already been in contact with me for possibly working next summer, and so I would love to do it. I did request that maybe we could shoot something indoors instead of outdoors, but that depends on the pandemic. It was really hot. There's absolutely great footage of me that if I ever get a hold of it, I'll give to you guys. I'll put on the Discord or something of we were shooting a shot where they couldn't look sweaty. And so they would shoot a piece of it, and I would literally walk up to the actors and like hold their shirts up with this giant fan and cool them off enough that they could shoot the next part of the scene so that they wouldn't ever look sweaty. Never knew that that'd be part of my job description.
I don't know how you do that with that humidity over there. Holy cow.
It was pretty brutal. And I mean, it was June, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but it was definitely toasty. So I'd love to shoot something indoors, but I'd go outdoors again for them. It'd be fun. They're the most down to earth, not movie type people that you would ever meet. And the actual director, the writer and director of it's a movie musical, and he has been on Broadway, and then he has written a musical for Summer Stock Austin every year for the last 9 years. An original musical that we use to work with youth. So the kids will come in and get to see the show, and then they work with the cast to learn a dance and to learn the songs. And that's one of our summer programs that we do. And so getting to work with Alan was amazing, and he would love to have me back. And so I'm hoping we get to do it again.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's great. You all deserve that. It sounds like you did a great job. Justin and Evelyn said, please tell me you used a giant leaf to cool them off.
No. But there was a lot of times I was waving a clipboard, so that's almost the same, I guess.
That's in the neighborhood. No doubt. Boy, so what have been some of the productions in the theater world in your school's theater that you've been most proud of? The one that we won awards for costuming was Addams Family. Okay.
That was loads of fun, coming up with the ancestors, which are basically ghosts that are from recognizable time periods. So we had a conquistador, and we had a flight attendant from the 50s, and we had a soldier. We had a hippie from the 60s. So all of these in ghost-like costumes, and we actually did their hair, so their hair was white, their faces were white, they were completely covered. And a lot of times those productions, they don't cover all the skin, but we actually got all the skin covered, and they looked amazing. And so that's one of my prouder moments. I loved working on Mamma Mia, which was my last big production before the pandemic. We finished the show on a Saturday, put everything into our costume shop on Sunday, and then we started spring break, and that was the last time we were in the shop for an entire year. And so that was my last big production, and it was the biggest production that I've done was 65 people. And that was loads of fun. And then currently I'm working on, we're doing Sense and Sensibility. Is what I'm currently working on, and I've never costumed Regency, and so I'm learning lots of amazing new things. And then I'm also working kind of concurrently on Beauty and the Beast for a musical. So,
is that your first production, your first production of Beauty and the Beast, or have you done that one before?
I've never done Beauty and the Beast before.
Ooh,
I know. So, and we're trying, and we're a high school, and so kind of coming up with alternative ways to do things. We're a smaller high school, and so coming up with ways to make things look bigger and make things look like more people. The Mamma Mia was a fluke. I don't know how we found 65 people to put on stage, but but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But coming up with new ways to do some of the things that are tried and true. I don't want to do what everybody else has done. I want to come up with a new way to do things like the dancing flatware and the plates and the wardrobe and things like that. I really want to come up with a new way to do a lot of that stuff. So
yeah, I love that so much. I love your attitude there. Let's say hi and bye to a couple people. Luis, so have a great night. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate you. And the Justin and Evelyn have subscribed again. Thank you for the resub for 4 months. Holy moly. Oh, so the Mod Father is in the chat.
actually just got my Twitch had frozen, and so I wasn't keeping up with the chat at all. So
I gotcha. Yeah. But Modfather, welcome back to the chat. I know he's gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. He's gonna mod you an offer you can't refuse. I'm sure you get that all the time, Modfather. It's so funny. Stuart Hayek in the chat, everyone. But yeah, thank you for the sub. Seriously, that's really great. Both of you, Shane and Jev together, 4 months. My goodness, that's fantastic. You know, it's really subtle, but you'll notice. Oh, and Aaron says, Twitch frozen? Welcome to my life, Shane.
I
know. That's so great. But if you look really closely in the chat, they're not great, but I've created some subscriber badges for folks. So in about a month, you're going to see a new one, the 6-month badge. So those of you who have subscribed for all 6 months of the show, you're going to see an interesting color, coming up. But yeah, that's really great. But these productions all sound really great. So Shane, last question before we go to random questions. When you were in high school, with the oops, what are all the oops for? in the chat.
So I don't actually have the badge because I have the first. I was like, what is my badge?
That's even better. The founder's badge.
Yeah, I have the first icon. So
which is amazing. That's really super cool. So thank you so much, Shane. Like, and they can't take that away from you. That's forever. Yeah. It's really great. So let's see. Founder badges are lit. Yeah, no doubt. But Aaron has the mod badge too. So that can't take that. That's a really cool piece of paraphernalia as well. Yeah. And but anyway, I don't worry too much about that stuff. When you were in high school, did you participate in musical theater productions as well? What were some of your favorites?
I did not. I grew up in a town of 1,200 people in Southwest Oklahoma, and there was no such thing as theater. We had a killer marching band, man, because football is king in Southwest Oklahoma. So we had a great marching band. We didn't even really have things like choir or anything like that. I literally got into theater because of my children. With them being in theater here at St. Stephen's, that was my first really big entry into the theater world. We lived in Connecticut for 9 years, and we did go see several shows on Broadway when we lived there. Mm-hmm. But it was not a world that I ever thought I would find myself in.
I didn't know about the Connecticut part. That's fascinating. What brought you out there for that period of time?
So yeah, my husband and I met in college at Oklahoma State University, and he was 2 years older than me, or is 2 years older than me. He was 2 years ahead of me in school, and we kind of got to the point where he was graduating, and he had gotten a full ride fellowship for graduate school at Yale, because he's one of those brilliant math brain people, which I don't understand, but. And it was kind of like, well, we can break up or we could get married. And we decided to get married. And that was a very long time ago. That was 28 years ago. But that's how we ended up in Connecticut. So he did his graduate work at Yale. And then he taught at a private prep school in New York City for 7 years. And then we had the twins and wanted to get closer to all of our family, which lives in Oklahoma and Texas. And that's how we ended up back in Texas.
I gotcha. Yeah. Well, Austin's a pretty cool place. Like I know that UT Austin is there. A lot of good stuff, good vibes in general. So that's really nice. It's a nice spot. Here's a nice spot for everybody here in the chat. So now, folks, it is time for what we call America's favorite moment. Get ready, Aaron, with a command in Twitch broadcasting.
Do the dance. It's time for random questions. Good stuff. Ask us anything.
Let's ask Shane anything. If you have a question for Shane, we'll open the queue in just a second here. And once it's open, let's wait. And it's open. Go ahead and write exclamation point question followed by the question itself. And you can ask Shane anything you'd like about anything, really. Modding Twitch, musical theater. That we've come to find out she just got into later in her life. I didn't realize that. That's another reveal on the program. How about
Well,
that?
I was like, my grandmother sewed the whole time I was growing up, and I learned by watching her.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what I don't know, I just kind of make up.
That's super
I'm
awesome.
really good at improvising.
I love that. But I think that's why your work is such a success, because you have to do that. Like, and things will happen. Like, you may run out of a certain material and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful. And thank you so much, Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Oh, good.
Evelyn just said, I'm so impressed with Davey. Like, seriously. Well, thank you.
I am too. This is amazing. And like I said, I told you whenever I was chatting with you that I get to watch your show in tiny little snippets, because I'm always like kind of rushing to get one place to the other, and I hadn't sat through a whole show, and this is amazing, and I really love it. So
thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So we have questions in the queue. Let's go to them. We're going to start with this question from, let's see. Oh, I love this. This is from Aaron Rin 8666. The question is, why are you so awesome?
I told Davey, I think I'm pretty boring. I don't know that I'm all that awesome. But I do tend to do the things I love, and love the things I do, and try to ditch the rest of it. And so I think I put off I really do love my life. So I think that maybe is part of it. I don't know.
Okay. That's a good, I like that. I think that's a good answer. So let's continue. Justin and Evelyn ask, what's your favorite musical?
Two different ones. For the absolute pageantry and puppetry, Lion King. But my favorite musical currently is Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, that's
I love
true.
music. I love the story. The story is really hard, but the backstories and some of the messages it has in it, I think, are just really, really amazing.
I've heard you profess your love for Dear Evan Hansen repeatedly, and so I think it's a great. I think I was totally prepared for that response, and I agree with Justin and Evelyn. Great answers. Those are great answers. There's no doubt, and I love that. Oh, Evelyn, they have another question. We'll get to that in a minute.
But I will say, if you ever get a chance to go see The Lion King, jump on it.
Okay.
Just because the puppetry and the costumes, I just consider the puppets part of the costumes, are really, truly unbelievable. And just for that, it's an amazing show to go see.
I love that. Bill Goodell is in the chat. Hello, Bill. How's everything going? Good to see you. Welcome in. Say hi to Shane, Bill.
Hello.
Good to see you. And feel free to put in a question, Bill. Exclamation point question followed by the question itself. And we'll continue with Jade, the leader of the Jade Empire's question. First question. Let me just add a question on top of that, just so you can make this a little easier to parse. So, what is your favorite genre of music?
I listen to it all. I really do. I love classical music.
Okay.
I love musicals. Obviously, I grew up on old school country. It's literally Southwest Oklahoma, middle of nowhere. That's all we listened to.
Right.
I love listening to a lot of indie bands, people that are kind of getting their start. I depending on my mood, will listen to just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy metal, not so much, but every once in a while, it'll strike my fancy.
Okay. So with that in mind, if you can lean on any particular genre, or you can even give us more than one, what is your favorite genre in your favorite genre of music?
I think I'll do a really circular thing. One of the reasons that I ended up at Tramp Stamp Granny's in Los Angeles was because of Darren Criss.
Mm-hmm.
And I had followed his music for a long time because I had followed his shows. And a lot of his songwriting is it's storytelling. And I think that that kind of that indie-ish music that tells a story and really kind of speaks to your heart, that's my favorite of all. Just to kind of get into the storyteller's head. That's one of the reasons that I like Ben Platt so much, because his songs always have a really incredible story to tell, and it's a personal story usually. So it's that type of music that really, day after day, in the shower, on the drive to work, things like that, that's the type of music I listen to them.
That's great. That's great. And I love that you have variety in your music too, which is really, it makes you a better person, I think. But that's just my opinion. So I appreciate you. Responses, here they come. My favorite musicals change all the time. Erin said, this is Erin Renee 8666.
Oh yeah.
But she says Cats is always my absolute fave. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, I love this. Justin and Evelyn. We love Shane. I can ask 10,000 questions.
One of these days, I'm just gonna like sit on Justin and Evelyn's couch. Well, the couch isn't there anymore. One of these days, but I'm gonna sit in front of Justin and Evelyn while they do their stream. I swear, one of these days I'm gonna make it happen. Just because I just love to be there and watch them interact and watch them do, or be at a live show that they do. I would love to get to do that, and then we can just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And I think we would end up talking most of the night, probably.
That's really great. No, I mean, you honestly could have a ball with both of them. And Bill Goodell says, and I bet Evelyn can ask 10,000 questions in a single breath.
Probably.
Just another says, and has. Love that. Yeah. Oh, my mom says, did not know that Darren Criss is all composer too. So impressive. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, Modfather, you have a question. Let's go ask the question on your behalf. Stuart Hayek asks, what are 3 things you could buy at a grocery store to make the cashier give you weird looks?
Oh.
3 things.
3 things.
If you need some time, I'll answer it first, because I think I know one.
Okay.
So, hello.
Sorry.
That's funny.
He said whatever.
At a grocery store, though. So that's interesting, because like if you're at a regular store, I'm sure there'd be a lot more choices. But
yes. At a grocery store.
I guess like for me, maybe. I don't want to be too politically incorrect with the answers, but let me just go. So condoms, obviously, there'll be some kind of look from people if you present them. I mean, you shouldn't, but maybe some people will be like, ooh, that's like, okay. But, and then, like Metamucil, because I mean, that'd be 1, you know? That's 2, so I need a 3rd one. Okay. Let me see. Weird looks. Shasta. Because it's like, who buys Shasta? Oh, I love that. Let's see. Aaron says, Darren Criss put together a very Potter musical, and I will forever be grateful to him for that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Cool. That's a good one. Yeah.
I think all at once, if you put down a case of wine.
Okay.
Our grocery stores sell wine. I don't know where in the nation they do and don't do that, but our grocery stores sell wine. So a case of wine, Brussels sprouts on a stalk, and what's a third? And a giant bottle of Advil.
All together. Now that's a night.
Those 3 things, and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
That's great. That's a great answer.
It's a Brussels sprout party with a hangover cure. There you go.
Brussels sprouts party. That's
the strangest look that I have ever gotten in my entire life at a grocery store was when I did lay. I don't know if you've seen how Brussels sprouts come, but it's a giant stalk, and then it's tons and tons and tons of little Brussels sprouts. And I laid that on the counter, and the cashier looked at me and said, I don't know what to do with aliens. And was completely like I said, it's Brussels sprouts. And they no. He said, I don't even think we sell that, do we? He thought I brought it in from outside or something. I don't know.
That is great. Wait, let's just refresh our memories. What does a Brussels sprout stalk look like? Let's go look at that right now. Give me a second. The beautiful thing about this show is that I have the ability to look up things and show them on. Oh my God.
Serious.
Okay. Now I understand why you're getting the looks. Okay. Let's go over to the screen capture and take a look. That is a Brussels sprout stalk.
Uh-huh.
It's just like I don't even know how to describe this.
And it's big. It looks like kind of small in there. It's big. You know, they stand really tall.
Oh yeah, this is probably one of the shorter ones. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, thank you for the grape emotes you had. Justin, that one of the grape emotes. Oh, that's so good. But that's really funny. So yeah, that does give you some looks. I've never actually seen the entire thing. I've only seen like the individual ones. So I learn something new every day. It's really great. And Justin Levelin says they look like grapes, but do not try to eat raw.
Oh no.
No.
But roasted in the oven and nice and caramelized, they're the best.
Yeah, I love Brussels sprouts. And like in butter. Oven roasted Brussels sprouts are great. So good. What do we have here? Let's see. What's going on? No, these emotes are. This is the sad thing for those of you watching on YouTube. You're not going to see these emotes, but you have one with Fitness Gal doing 3 grape emotes and an oof. And then you have Aaron with 1 grape emote and a wow. I never said this is a family show. I just so let's see. Stuart says she answered my favorite food in Brussels sprouts, so she's good in my books. Yeah, it's terrific.
They're so good. They're so good.
Yeah, it's like a thing that you think you get into even more when you're an adult, because it's like kids like, oh, Brussels sprouts, it tastes terrible, but no, it's actually pretty good. I like it. I do like it.
Yeah.
Oh, Jade, you have a disappointment juice emote now? That's great. I got to use that more. 3 stalks and a disappointment juice emote. Keep them coming, y'all. This is great. This is really funny. Pushing the envelope with the grape emote. It's so good. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my God. Let's go to the next question while we get that all sussed out in the chat. Okay, so we don't have anything in the queue, y'all. Exclamation point question followed by the question. Let's get some more questions in there, everybody. Still have some time. Oh, I love this so much.
The only other thing that I haven't talked about that's kind of interesting is that I am a teacher in real life, and so the theater stuff that I do is actually not a job I get paid very much to do at all.
All right.
But I am a dyslexia specialist for elementary school kids. And so that's where my biggest passion lies, and is teaching little kids to read. And so that's a lot of fun as well. But you know, the theater feeds my creative passion, and keeps me motivated, because it's easy to burn out as a teacher these days. But the theater keeps me going. So.
I love that. You know, it's cool that we all can have that any of us can have like these passions to lean on, because you know regular work isn't always going to be that exciting. So it's cool that you have this outlet, and so I'm glad for that. I'm really glad that it keeps you sane. That's really cool. So yeah, and Jeff says, "Oh my God, these are amazing. These emotes," and that was so fun. Okay, so. Let's go to the next question. This is from Christy's Coffee, my sister, and she So she asks, "What is your favorite kind of food?"
I grew up on it. So I said that I grew up in Southwest Oklahoma. I actually grew up on a Angus cattle ranch.
Okay.
So I love steak. I grew up having some of the best steak in the world. But like steak with a little bit of pasta and something like a roasted Brussels sprout is pretty much my favorite meal of all time. So
You're gonna have a good day at Mastro's if you're ever back here. Mastro's does it up with both of those. Like their steak is great, their Brussels sprouts are great, and the butter cake, the butter cake is unreal.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you ever had butter cake? Oh, it's delicious.
butter cake is one of those things. Oh, when you see it, eat it because it's so good.
Yeah.
But it's not around very much.
Mm-hmm. And Christy's Coffee responds, good answer. I love steak and Brussels sprouts.
So
good. So good. So thank you for the question, Christy, and everybody else for their questions. Keep them coming. We've got another at least 10 minutes of questions. So you're here. Look, let me ask one then. I'll ask one if there are no questions. Aaron says, I regret never trying out for my school plays. Aaron, I'm sorry about that. Would have been cool. I hope. Well, there's always community theater too, though. You could always do it doesn't end, right? Aren't there like community productions outside of school?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting too because as a costume designer, I spend a lot of time in rehearsals just to see how things are blocked and how people are moving and things like that. And I often sit there and go, wow, I wonder if I'd been, in a bigger city or something like that, if I actually would have gotten into theater. Mm-hmm. Because there's times that I'm like, ooh, it'd be cool to be up on stage. But I don't know. I don't know if I would have done it in high school or not. I was pretty shy.
Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, listen, look, Aaron, just to feed off your point, like you regret never trying. I regret never trying out for sports. It's the same thing. Like, it's like I didn't have the confidence to do it. Like, what is going to happen? I might get hurt or something else. And that was definitely a regret. I'm like, so I feel that. So don't worry about it too much. It's all good. Aaron says, I don't have time for those now, sadly. Oh, I hear you there. I hear you there too. I barely have time for things as well. And I know you do too, Shane, which is why I'm so glad you could make it tonight. I'm really blessed. Like, I feel great that you could be here.
Yeah. You had to chase me down a bit, but
no, I love it. We're better for it though. I mean, this has been a great spot so far. And so we have an empty queue. And I know, like, when you do music channels, the queue needs to have songs in it for it to be a show. So This has not happened in a very long time. But what happens when the queue is empty? What do you do? Like, do you just encourage? Do the mods send their own submissions? Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
I'll go. I mean, if it really is very quiet, sometimes at the very beginning of a stream it gets that way, or sometimes like the first 2 or 3 people put something in, and then those run out, and people just don't think to put something in, and I'll go in and pull. Especially with Laura, who I know, like, kind of her favorite things, I'll put them in. It hasn't happened in Justin Evans for a very long time, but I remember at one point I was like, ooh, these are the 2 favorite things that they do. I'm going to throw those in, and it kind of gets things going again. And I think that's the best. Like, if you kind of know what their favorite song is to sing and kind of get them in a really great mood, that's the best thing to kind of throw in there. And get it started again.
I love that.
Because sometimes it's hard. People say, oh, artist choice. And I think that's really hard when you're on stream and on the spot to think of something that you want to play and that you think will go well. I mean, I think it's really, really hard on the artist to just come up with that on the spot.
I love that so much. Justin and Evelyn have to go. And Evelyn says, we have to run. What is it? Oh. But I only got to ask 3 questions, and I still have 9,997 to go. So you'll have to be back on. But
all right, let's go, Jeff.
And Aaron adds, Shane needs to fly to Seattle, and you guys can do a just chatting stream with her, meaning Jeff and you doing.
That would be interesting.
That'd be great. And that'd be like a long show. It'd be like a 5-hour show.
Well, and Seattle is a bucket list for us. My husband is an avid geocacher, and Seattle is the geocaching headquarters of the world. And we were supposed to be there for the 20th anniversary of geocaching, and then there was this pandemic thing that happened. So it's been postponed, but we will be in Seattle hopefully by next summer. We will have gotten to go to Seattle. And do things there. So it is definitely a bucket list for us.
I really look forward to that. I mean, I think we'd love to hear your accounts from there once you get there. It would be really great. So I'm looking forward to that. Your guys making it there too. That's awesome.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, super cool. Aaron says Justin, as far as what kind of music, equals anything Eagles. Evelyn equals rap or Disney. I love that. Oh, Phil, thank you for the reminder. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to bring this up. Phil, welcome to the chat. Phil. Phil says hi and happy World Teachers Day.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Yeah,
I didn't know either.
super cool. Yeah, that's great, Phil. Welcome back in, Phil. Phil, as you know, is one of the most generous people in the universe.
Yes.
I mean, I can't even speak to how generous he's been to this little channel right here. And it's not just this channel, it's every channel. I've seen him do amazing things with gift subs and donations and everything else everywhere. I mean, so Phil, at some point I hope you're streaming again, because I want to go back and I want to reciprocate, because you've been really great to us. And so welcome. Just pull up a chair, ask a question. We've got some questions for we have some questions for getting us in before you go, Aaron. I love it. All right, let's do it. Okay, hold on. Pump it up. All right, let's go back to. I was really worried about this today, so let's go back and do the thing again. So we borrowed a redeem from the Human Juke, Danny K's channel, and it's called Bean Boozled. I think you're familiar with this.
Yes.
So you take a jelly bean, and Jade, I love it, Jade. I'll come back to you, and I have a question for you guys related to that redeem, but there it is, Bean Boozled. So we have 2 jelly beans to decide from today. Let's go to it. Oh no. Okay, I got this orange one. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad it's orange, because it's like UT Austin, so that's a good choice.
Orange is a happy food color.
Yeah. Now, the last time I had the orange one, it was dead fish. But it could be strawberry banana smoothie. Which of these is it gonna be? Let's see. Pump it up! Yeah! The banana smoothie! Yeah! Woo!
That's much better than dead fish.
So, we need to institute a new command on this channel called rigged, similar to the Human Juke, where it will count up. Like, you say rigged, and it's like, the jelly bean contest has been rigged X number of times. So we can start that with number 1. But it's good news for me. I won. Woohoo!
That's awesome.
I love that.
That's just sad.
We had the dead fish like a week ago, too. It was rough. It was rough.
That's horrible.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let's put that down. And now we have the Mentos trick. Oh, you're in for a treat, Shane. Okay. So, the question is, Sandwich Show chat, do you want to do the Mentos trick tonight with the regular Diet Coke? Or tonight, would you like to mix it up a little bit and do it with beer? I will wait for your answer. We don't need to do a poll. I'll just wait to see what the people say. What would you pick there, Shane? Would you do it with Diet Coke?
I've never seen it done with beer. Seems like it'd be a huge mess.
I think it... Let's see if it works with beer. You want to do it? Who wants to try it? Phil, I don't know if it works with beer. That's what I'm curious about. And Jade wants to know, too. Let's do it with a beer. Okay.
Right.
Very exciting. Okay, so let's try it out. Now, because it's beer, I don't like to waste good beer, so we're going to get the cheapest beer possible. And tonight, we're going to select Bud Light. That's as cheap a beer as you could imagine. So it's a good test subject for this project. I'm going to pour just a little bit of beer out here. I don't know if this is going to work. I hope it does. Don't pour out make a mess. Well, I didn't pour that much out. Just a little bit. So let's... yeah, Aaron wants the mess. Yeah, no doubt. All right, so we got our Mentos tablets ready to go. And let's see.
You're really going to do that right in front of your computer?
Well, I'm going to back up. Gotta back up a little bit. Yeah, I have no choice. I didn't the first time, and it was a disaster. The clip is on our Discord. Aaron, can you do the Discord link too? Just to show everybody what that was all about. That was... Okay. All right, here we go. You ready? We're going to do it with beer. Good luck, everyone. All right.
Oh!
Yeah.
It did more than I thought it was going to do.
I think it works with beer. It was okay. I probably would have... I would have left the rest of it in, though, for future reference. Aaron says, he didn't back up the first time, and it was lovely. It actually worked, though. That was really cool. I'm glad it works with beer. That's really cool.
I love it.
I'll try to drink the beer later. I know. I'm still going to try to drink it. That's cool. Shameless. But, yeah, I'm glad you liked it, everybody. Well done. And thank you for the redeem, everyone. Was that Christy with the redeem? Well, thank you for that. Or Jade. And thank you, Aaron, for the Bean Boozled. Thank you, Jade, for the Mentos trick. And we do have one more. Do you want to do it? Punch it in. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You're here. You took the time out to do this. I'm gonna do it for us. Where is it? There. That. Let's do the starting lineup tonight, y'all. Because Shane, I think, needs to... you've been involved in a lot of musical theater. So we should give you a theatrical introduction. Hopefully, I have enough information to do a good introduction for you. I think I do. So if you want to get into the starting lineup, everybody, exclamation point lineup. That's all you need to do, and you're in the lineup. And I'll read your name, and I'll give you guys a little bit of time to do that. Go ahead and enter the lineup. Shane, you're in the lineup already. No need for you to enter with the command. You're in. Jade, you're in. Christy, you're in. I'll give it another minute. I love it. It's a little silent right now, but we'll get there. Oh, Phil, you made the lineup too. Thank you so much, Phil. All right, go keep it coming. We're going to get started. Let's do it, everyone. I'm keeping a careful eyeball on the time too. Anybody who's in the chat, let me know once Justin and Evelyn get going. And the reason is because Shane is a mod there, so we need to make sure that she can get over there not too late from now. So, all right, let's do it. Here we go. You ever go to basketball games like this? It's always fun to go to games and get all the lights and everything. And yeah, absolutely. I remember it too. The Bulls lineup.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. I know it's the best. Definitely, I was inspired by it. And now, the starting lineup for your Davey's Eating a Sandwich Show Chat! Our chief mod, keeping it cool, trying to keep cool amidst the cat chaos in the Sunshine State, the Queen of Chaos, Aaron Wren, 8686! And one of the new hot streamers on Twitch, befriending people as notable luminaries such as Justin and Evelyn, the Stream Scribe, and Irene Pena Music on her way to a wonderful arts and crafts stream from Central California. Loving the brew, Christie's Coffee. And also another rising star on Twitch, the leader of the Jade Empire, tucked away in Pancake Corner. Bow down for Jade Time! And one of the true mentions of Twitch, going on a ride whether virtually or actually. In fact, we've been on some really serious rides all across the Rocky Mountain region. And ready to give you a tour on his Swift bicycle whenever he streams, Phil Mello! And the gal that brought me to Twitch, from Southern California. California is where she's from, right back to where she started from. Fitness Gal 2012. And I think that's it. Ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries, your Davey's eating a sandwich. Sandwich show chat. Oh, no. I almost forgot. Okay, hold on. And our head co-up tonight, the mother of twin boys, and a master costume designer for multiple local productions, and also a teacher of dyslexia during the day, and a proud owner of that cute little kitten right there in the corner of the screen, Shane M.O.T.B. I love it. Ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries, your Davey's eating a sandwich. Sandwich show chat. Thank you, everybody. Woohoo! Jane. Woohoo! I love it. Oh, thank you for that, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Woo! M.O.T.B. I love that. That's so great. Oh my God, I did not want to forget it again. I actually, when I had Ryan, that E-flat guy on, I forgot to do his intro, and then I was like already talking, and then like, wait a second, I gotta go back. So we went back to the scene, and then we did it. But I'm just glad I didn't do that this time. So like, that's really great. And my mom says Shane is so amazing, and I agree, Mom.
Oh, thank you. I'm having so much fun.
Thank you. I'm glad you're having a good time here tonight. But thank you for the redeem. Oh, I did the redeem. Sorry, but thank you very much for entering the lineup, everybody. That was really cool. And Christine says Shane is so amazing. There's no doubt. You've done so many great things, and it's tough to find that fine line of being like, being warm and hospitable, but also being tough, because you have to when you mod anything on the internet. It's really tough. Like, I mean, so that's always really, really cool that you're able to ride that fine line. It's really good. So let's see. We got two to go, and we'll close it up tonight. Maybe we'll close it up tonight. I got to see where everybody is. But Jade says, are there any confusing school stories?
Confusing schools. I mean, I work with little bitty kids. The things that happen in my building are pretty crazy. I did just today, like walked down to get my first graders, and I have some first graders, and kind of walked towards them. They saw me in the hall, and I waved them, and I started walking back to my classroom, and we get in, and I'm writing something on the board, and I turn around, and there's a student who I have no idea who they are. And they're sitting at my table with the rest of my students. And I'm like, sweetie, are you lost? She's like, no, I just decided I wanted to come today. Not quite how it works, but okay, we should probably tell your teacher where you are.
That is awesome.
But now the students that I get to work with, we often identify in kindergarten or first grade, somewhere along in there. So I get to work with them for 4 or 5 years. So we become our own little family. That's my Justin 11.
Oh, okay.
Evelyn, remember. But we become our own little family, and so I have a great group of kids, and it's really amazing.
Now wait a second. How does that work? I mean, is it just like set to go on when they go on stream? Is that the idea?
No, it's an alarm I have set on my phone for every Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh. That's clever.
And then I change it whenever I know that it needs to be changed because they're doing something different. I do change it, but no, it's an alarm that just goes off so that I at least will wrap up what I'm doing so I can get there in the first little bit of the show. Sometimes I don't make it. Sometimes I'm still at school, sadly enough, at 8:25 at night. When it goes off, but that it's just my cue to like, oh, you need to kind of wrap stuff up because it's going to be time pretty soon. So
I gotcha. I mean, I know that they start late sometimes, but that's all well and good. Now, here's the thing. Do you remember a few weeks back when they streamed on a Friday? Were you able to make that one? Because
I made it to part of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I felt bad for you on that in one respect because we didn't really know about it until like I think it was the middle of the week, and I understand. Like I mean I totally understand that streamers also are pretty busy, as you know. So I'm glad that you were able to get some mods there. I was thinking of you all when I was doing the karaoke show the same night. I'm like, oh man, like Aaron's here, and like I just hope that they have some mods over there. So I'm glad that you were able to hang out with them.
I kind of snuck in at some point, and I was able to. It was I was surprised. It's like the Twitch notifications will go off sometimes. And I'm like, okay, not somebody I'm modding for, and then I'll kind of look and be like, oh well, that was just an element, or oh, usually it's like, oh, that was Flip. I need to figure out what's going on.
Oh, that's true. Flip would kind of there's a little bit more unpredictability in that, and that's why we love you so much. It's like you can manage to roll and bend with like changes in the schedule, and I totally understand it too. Like the changes, people people can get sick, people can get busy. Maybe they were on a flight somewhere and they got stuck. So it completely is understandable when folks need to move around their times. And so it's great that you can do that. And it's great that you have like backup. Like you have so many mods, right? Like just to use like Justin and Evelyn as an example, like how many mods do you believe there are with that channel?
There's not as many as you would think.
Okay.
It's Aaron and I and Pio.
Right. Pio.
And then and Tuba.
Mm-hmm.
Tuba's a more recent addition. And that's the core pretty much.
Okay.
That is there at any given there at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean I think that like Laura has I think 8 total. But several of them don't come to this, like just have fallen off because they have stuff going on. Flip has 2.
Oh, wow.
No, sorry, Flip has 3. But we all have really crazy lives, and we all just kind of chase them down and show up when we can. So. Oh,
wow. Welcome back, Jeff. Our mods are so awesome. It seems like there's many more. It does feel like there's many more. I did not know it was that few.
I was trying to think, and those are the ones that I can remember that I see the most often. I guess there may be others.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the great thing about the mods with all 3 channels is that you all have such great personalities. You're part of the show. Like I really believe that, and I really think that's something that makes it really fun to participate. And so I thank you for that. I just want to say that. I mean,
I that's why I agree to do it. It's a lot of fun, and that's why I stay up till late at night doing it, because it kind of feeds my soul.
Oh yeah. And we've had some big shows too, like the 6-month show, which was awesome. Like that was a whole all-night show. It was really great, and it lived up to the billing. It was super cool. But good to see you back. Let's see. Oh, I have a redeem. Okay, get something from Davy's closet, which I'm gonna change to get something from Davy's room eventually, just so it's a little bit less confusing of a terminology. But let's try it. I was gonna do. Okay, so here let me just quickly explain here. So Shane, I was just gonna do this, which is just like kind of so this is just basically stationary supplies. Lighting's not helping me. Okay, there you go. So you've got hole punch, stapler, and keyboard brush, and they look like keys in a keyboard. So I was gonna do that. See, it looks like that. And then you got the punch, and you got the baby stapler. But I think we could do even better. So hold on a second. We're gonna open up the closet. One sec.
Oh wow.
Okay. All right, you see me? Let's see. Okay. This is interesting.
That's a great closet.
All right, did I miss anything while I was out?
I said that's a great closet.
Oh, thanks. It is pretty big. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this closet as well. So this is a hard hat giveaway they had when I went to college game day. So you can see this is
That's awesome.
years and years ago, and now that football is a big thing where you live. So this is fun to wear during the college game day pregame show, and
Yep. You look
yeah,
official.
yeah.
Very official.
Pretty good. Phil Fellows says safety first. Phil, you had a good zinger earlier in the got to keep your noggin safe. I love it. Yep. Thank you, everybody. So thanks for the redeem. Who was it, Christy? Yeah. Thank you, Christy, for the redeem. It's oh yeah. So you're talking about your alarms, and Phil says, where is it? I also find their talent alarming. Love that.
Nice, Phil.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
All right, so let's oh wow, what a great question from Christy. So this will probably close this out. I'm gonna look at see where the panel is, but Christy's coffee. Is this your first interview, Shane? You seem very natural on camera.
Oh, it is. This is not something I've done before. And so it's been a blast, but no, definitely this is my first time. So
No kidding. You really are natural. Like I never would have guessed that.
thank you.
Yeah.
I have had a blast, but I mean, I guess maybe because I talk to kids all day and get asked a million questions, but but no, this is my first time to be on camera.
No, that's really cool. So Aaron, are you still in the chat with us? I need to ask you a question if you are. But anyway, that like again, like we would know it, and I think communicating with people, having a job that deals with talking to people probably does help. I think you're right. The folks in the chat really did love your story about the children who are lost and you're helping them out, and I think that's really cool. Very sweet of you.
Like, wait a minute, who are you? You really, and it's funny as a teacher, you're always trying to be like really supportive, but there's times that you really want to look at them and go, really, child? I mean, come on. But you don't ever do that.
Yeah, I got you.
My favorite response to a lot of questions from kids is to look at them very, very seriously and go, interesting. Let's go ahead and keep doing this one thing before.
Oh no! Didn't listen to you? Oh no!
They will like a lot of interruptions, and oh, my cat threw up yesterday. Interesting. Now on this page, we were reading about that's kind of my favorite response.
Oh, that is That is funny. Kids have just like what are they just like forgetting stuff? They just kind of gloss over it. Funny. And Christy's copy says, "Now we are the kids." Jade says, "That is a good strategy. Wheeze lets them feel heard while still keeping things on track." So yeah, I figured that's deliberate. Yeah, kids are clever, but more clever than you think.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, very much so. But yeah, I mean, I think we do have time for a couple more questions. So if you want to throw those in, Jade or Phil or anyone else who has had a chance to put them in, please put them in, because I think that's really great that you all have been hanging out and asking some questions. I kept saying I was going to add one, but a lot of the stuff I was going to ask is already asked. Like, what's your favorite musicals? One, like that was asked already, so that's cool. What's your favorite sandwich? You kind of addressed it during Sandwich of the Week. You talked about favorite food, which is awesome. Okay, no worries. No, Aaron, it's no problem. Like Aaron says, sorry for my disappearance, but I am home now. It's really just because I want to know who's streaming right now, if you get my drift. So let me know. But while we wait, let's get some more questions. All right, so let's go to Christy's coffee. Oh yeah, that's a great question. Christy, what a question. So Christy's coffee asks, where can we purchase the Wow butter? Yeah, that's a great question.
So depending on where you are, I will say that the most consistent place to be able to buy it is at Walmart. Oddly,
How about
and it's with their regular peanut butter. I buy it on Amazon sometimes if I can't find it. But then here we have Randall's, which is owned by Safeway. So that's a lot of stores kind of across the United States are owned by that chain, and they often carry it well. But your like most consistent place to find it is at Walmart.
that's crazy? Yeah, who would have guessed Walmart? How about that? It's like,
Very weird.
yeah, it is. No, that definitely is. But good for the good on them. Good on them. Christy's Coffee. Oh my God, Walmart. I would love to try this butter. Christy, you live next to a Walmart. You could do that totally. I know that because in this, where she lives. So she lives like in the middle of like a bunch of cows right now. So there's a Walmart around there, I believe. Oh, I love it. Let's see. Okay, so next from Jade. Since you're a teacher now, do you have any favorite or least favorite teacher from your own school days?
So it's interesting. I had a lot of trouble in school. I really struggled in school, and my teachers. I mean, I'm old, but my teachers just basically told my parents that they thought I was pretty dumb. And so it finally became enough of an issue that they had me tested, and whenever they got the test results back, they told my parents, well, she's like really, really smart, decently high IQ. So really, the problem is that she's just lazy. So that was kind of how I went through my elementary through high school years, and then I went to school. And at Oklahoma State, they were doing a lot of research on learning disabilities, and they were developing a test for a specific type of learning disability. And I was one of the test subjects. I was like, well, I'll sign up for it because I've always had trouble in school. And that was when I was diagnosed with dyslexia.
Oh, wow.
And so I have dyslexia, and I teach students with dyslexia because I don't want anybody to ever have to do what I did. Because students with dyslexia often have, I was that kid who couldn't sit still. And the comorbidity of dyslexia and ADHD is really high. So I annoyed the crap out of my teachers, and I couldn't get any work done. And I don't want kids to ever have to feel that way again. So a lot of my teachers, I get really frustrated with whenever I think back of like, you could have done so much.
Yeah, and the chat responds, "Oh, that's awful. Wow, that sounds rough." But
little town in the middle of nowhere, Southwest Oklahoma, and they just didn't have the resources to deal with somebody who didn't learn like everybody else.
Yeah.
So,
it is. Yeah. But I'm glad.
I'm old, people.
Yeah.
It was a whole different world then than it is now.
I hear that. Let's see. Phil says, sometimes the really smart kids don't feel challenged and get labeled as lazy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's absolutely the case. And a lot of times we'll find that, really, really, really smart kids will get, thrown into my world. And it's because one of the reasons they're very, very smart is that their brains are wired differently. And dyslexia is literally a neurological issue. Your brain is wired differently to take in the human language. And so a lot of students who are dyslexic have incredibly high, if not genius high IQs, is what we find.
I guess that's true then. They were saying like, they know the adage that Albert Einstein had like D's and F's in school, and it just is almost as if he's just on a different level completely. So there might be a little of that too. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
We definitely see it a lot. Teachers will say, "Oh well, I don't think they're very bright." And I'm like, they're really bright. They're out thinking you about every turn, but it's just really hard for them to read.
Yeah, I hear it. Oh yeah. I do. It is so interesting, like how that is, but it's cool that you're able to work with it, and now you're kind of helping other people work with it. So I think it's really cool. It's really great. Let's see. Jade says, "I'm glad the research for learning disabilities has evolved so much in recent years, and we're so sorry you had to deal with such an awful school system growing up."
Oh, well, thank you so much. It made me the teacher I am today, and I make a difference in a lot of kids' lives, and it's not something I would have done probably had I not grown up like that. And so it was all meant to be. That's how I always have to take it. This is there was fate was steering me in a direction, and that was how it had to happen. So
yeah, that's really cool, and I'm glad that moments can kind of like character building moments in a way. So that I think that's really great. I'll give you one question. Oh, here it comes. I'm gonna write it in. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm just gonna put that in. Okay, so there's a question in front of it. Oops. Ooh, forgot that one. Okay, so I'll ask my question next. First, this question from Christy. Christy asks, which of the two twins is more like you?
So I have my musical theater son who is in Philly. He just finished his musical theater degree, and he is auditioning as much as he can. He is more outgoing, like his dad is. My son Alex, who is in school here in San Antonio, he is very quiet and introverted, and very processes his thoughts for a long time before he does anything about them. And he is definitely more like me, and looks a lot like me as well. But the really funny thing is that the musical theater son that's in Philadelphia, Facebook can't tell the two of us apart.
Oh.
So it labels the two of us the same. So apparently I look the most like my son Sam. So
did you all get that chat? Did you all get that all lined up? That's crazy. That's wild, man. That's wild. That really is.
So, yeah. Especially now that my hair is shorter than it was. It is constantly tagging me him and him as me. So
Shane.
Whatever
Indeed. It is amazing, Phil. You're right. Phil says that's amazing. And Christine says, Sam does look just like you. I have not seen a photo of Sam. That's interesting. I'd have to see.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'll look into that a little bit later, but let's see. Oh, so you were talking about Facebook. So before we get to my question, how did you manage the Facebook shutdown the other day? Like the Facebook and Instagram shutdown?
I was at work. I had no clue what happened.
Oh, okay. So you're busy.
Our whole building, it was so funny because today we're all like, did you know something happened? We were all looking at each other going, we had no clue.
Wow.
That's what happens when you're around little. I mean, in our buildings, in elementary buildings especially, they block all of that. So unless you happen to pick up your phone, you're not going to know that something's going on. So I had no idea until it was already over.
That's funny. Well, I think that's a good thing, though. It's a good thing because it means you're busy, you're productive, and so on. So that's actually a good thing in the end. Phil also says, meh, didn't really notice. And Jade says something happened to Facebook. Okay. Oh, Aaron, thank you for that. Chev has a starting soon screen up. Okay, great. I'll give it in a few more minutes. But so what that means is we'll close the queue. So let's do that.
Okay, so baby, I just sent a picture. There it is.
Oh, really?
I just sent a picture in our Discord.
In our Discord?
Chat.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me see. It can't. I have to. Discord's is running our call, so it's like. Okay, give me a second. I think I figured it out. Hold on a sec. I think I got it. Yeah, just give me a sec here. I think I can do it this way. Yeah, I got it. Just give me a second. Okay. As for me, I thought it was. I mean, I noticed it after. It took me like 2 hours to figure out it was happening. Just, I guess that's the beginning of it. But, what? No, that's wrong. Yeah, this has happened before. I've had issues going to Discord on the web because I got you, Shane. We'll figure this out. Together. The problem is that I have to figure out how to get to Discord without the actual app because the app is... So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show it on the phone. I think this will work. It won't be quite as perfect, but it will work. So, well, we'll do this.
You'll see what I'm talking about my son Sam and I looking alike, and my other son and my husband looking alike.
That's pretty wild. So, if we do it this way, I bet you we can get our... Yeah, so just a sec. Okay, so I'm going to go to our chat, and I see it here. Oh, yeah, wow. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's show... You're both next to each other too. So this is what that looks like. Yeah, I see the resemblance for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Come on.
That's our whole little family.
That's a cool family, though. I did see. I know that on Laura's Discord, they showed a shot of your family at the zoo, and I thought that was cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great trip, wasn't it? Like that trip looked like a lot of fun.
God. We had so much fun having Laura here. It was amazing.
And I heard she put on a great show.
Yes. And I sat basically in front of her for 3 nights and had an amazing time.
Love it. So, I mean, and it was the first time you met like some of these folks. Like, for example, meeting Tin Tam and meeting Tuba too. I can't remember.
Yeah, Tuba. I had never met Tuba or Tin Tam, and we all got to meet. And that was and also Jason L. Rush, who was a mod. Yeah, Jason. And so he was also there. And so it was amazing to get to see people in real life.
Yeah. Jason's the nicest guy too, and he's a very funny guy. So I much respect to Jason L. Rush. I love hanging out with him wherever. He's in a lot of channels too. Like he's in Laura's channel, Brookstone Bards. I've seen him at John Massey Newland. Yep. He's in a lot of places. Like he's really fun. So let's see. What do we have left in the queue? Just gonna wrap this up because we have a nice spot to rate to. Okay, here it is. Okay, so the question for me. So we talked about what your favorite food is. You talked about your favorite sandwich, which is basically peanut butter and jelly. But what is the food that you feel like you cook the best? So like it's like the tastiest food that you make. Like what do you think is your best dish?
If you ask my children, and the thing I actually love to make is it's chicken and wild rice. So it's like really little tender pieces of chicken, and it's all mixed in wild rice. And then I always do like roasted buttered carrots with it, and that's our favorite. And one of the best things I make, probably.
Chicken and rice. Do we have visual evidence? Do you have a photo? No, not yet. Okay. I'll tell you what. The next time you make it, if you would like to, I would be most honored if you could put it in our Discord. And
I will throw it in. I think I probably have a picture somewhere if I had to guess. So
yeah, I'm a fan of chicken and rice. That's a good dish. I don't know what kind of rice. Is it Spanish rice? Is it like regular white rice? Like what kind of rice is it?
It's wild rice.
Wild rice.
And
okay.
So it's wild rice mix. Yeah, and so it's not. There's nothing creamy or anything in it. It's just like really fluffy, savory rice and the big piece of chicken in it. So
okay. I love it. All right, so the queue is closed. We have one last question from Christy's Coffee.
Awesome.
And Christy asks, do your sons know about the Twitch world, or do you find yourself explaining it to them more?
So they're very savvy, and they do know about Twitch. They have watched a lot of gamers on Twitch. They think it's hilarious that their mother is a mod on Twitch. They roll their eyes and then they laugh. They think it's so funny. And they're big Discord people. And that's actually how we have a lot of family conversations on Discord. So we have a family Discord that we use just to have conversations with everybody. But they think it's funny, and they make fun of me for being the mom mod.
The mom mod. Yep. That's good.
And they will come into they'll come into streams every once in a while, and I'll know they're there. Like no, they don't ever announce that they're my children or anything, but they'll kind of poke at me a little bit, which is pretty funny. They're like, oh, dude,
but
don't make me beat you.
That's so cool. I'm so glad your sons are familiar with it, and they even endorse it, which I think is awesome. That's really great. Super awesome. So these closing comments from our chat. Don't you go anywhere, chat. Sandwich Show chat. We are just getting started. This is like part 1 of 2 of what's going to be a really fun night on Twitch. But Jade says, honesty, we all love Shane as the mom mod.
Oh, thank you.
Christy,
that's my deal. Is I'm mama to whoever will take me. So that's part of what I love about being on Twitch.
That's awesome. Mama Shane. Super cool. Let's see. And yeah, Christy says, you're a great moderator, Shane. You are.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I agree. And so with that, we say thank you. But don't go anywhere yet, because we all are going to start our raid. Let me just make sure that we have everything lined up. I don't see it yet. I'm just going to take a leap on here. Hold on a second, Shane. Let me just make sure. Kalans is in. Oh my goodness, Kalans. Kalans, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the comments too. Look at this. Kalans, looking forward to more awesome interviews. Well, thank you so much, Kalans. That really means a lot. Thank you, Kalans. You've been really generous to us too. 4 months. Congratulations, my friend. Thank you so much for the continued loyalty to the Sandwich Show. That's really nice, yeah. Let me spam some sandwiches in the chat. Y'all are really nice. Thank you so much. And, and I said it before, we couldn't do this show without you. And that's as simple as that. All of you here in the chat, all of you who mod, and everyone else, you've been incredible to me and to all of us here and all of our guests. And I want to thank you for that. So, yes, yeah, thank you, Kalan. Thank you so much. So let's just see where we're at. And thank you, Shane. Any final thoughts before we head out to wherever we're raiding?
Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you for pursuing it and making me finally take the time to stop and do it. I've had an amazing time, and I've loved getting to spend time with you face to face, and also just time with my Twitch family. It just means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Shane. And the pleasure is mine. I mean, it really was great. It was completely worth tracking you down, and it was totally worth the wait. It was really great. So thank you so much for doing this with us, and come back anytime, really, seriously. We love having you here. Let's go see if our raid home or if our raid destination is available.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
All right.
And they are engaged and underway.
Okay.
So let's go raid your mod assignment, Justin and Evelyn. Right now, we're going woo! Let's do it. Get ready for the raid. We're going to go. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for the kind words. We're going to have the raid called for you. And the sub raid. It's been a little while since we've raided Justin and Evelyn, so this would be a convenient place to go. So I wanted to give them some. Besides, did you? I'm not sure if you heard about them raiding my sister's channel, but that was an incredible gesture. Going over.
That was when I followed your sister. Was off of that.
Oh, okay. So. That's right. You're part of that. That's right. And and that raid carried my sister to affiliate. I'm just so amazed and grateful.
So cool.
That is so cool. So, everybody, y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. I think we're gonna do something on Friday. I'm hoping it's the fried sandwich stream. I've been meaning to do that for months. We're gonna try to set that up. I'll keep you posted on that on Discord. But meanwhile, let's say hi to Justin and Evelyn. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Shane. And hey, Chindam, welcome in, Chindam. It's good to see you. Hi, Mama Shane. Good to see you all. We're heading on down to Justin and Evelyn, and we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you. Take care, everyone. Bye. Let's see.